Hello everybody, Brian Martin with you on the wide world of tabletop sports. You are looking at the automated tournament director, for lack of a better term, that I have created for Excel. And I've been using it for my Professional Tennis Association Tour league, whatever you want to call it, using Play.com's Let's Play Tennis. And we're working on the quarterfinals now, or the semifinals of the women's side of the Atlantic Open. And so this is not just a tour of what to do or what it is, but it's also the instructions on how to use this tool when the time comes. So what we'll do is I'll show you a couple of things here. When you have a tournament, you set up your schedule. You can have as many events as you want. This schedule is not tied to anything. It's just my schedule, and I just keep track of the men's and women's champions. But in time, I could develop it to be tied to a schedule, so a lot of the stuff automatically updates. You have a men's side, M auto and W auto, which just means that the brackets create themselves automatically based on the results of each match. So there's one for men's, one for women's. Then the brackets themselves are posted here in a more, tournament style format. Then there's a ranking report that you print at the end of each tournament. And then there's live rankings, which are updated after each and every single match, so that you can get set up for the next tournament when one tournament is done. So let's just show you how you set this up. You go into the header here and you type in whatever you want. So we're now on the Atlantic Open, event number 7. So I would just go in here and type Atlantic, leave the open, and then change the same thing on the bottom for the women. For the location, you just hit equal, go over to schedule, and pick the location for the tournament. Newport, Rhode Island, and it will automatically update down here. Alright, so that's how you get that stuff. And then you just type in the surface, in this case it's grass, but what that does is hard court turns gray, clay court turns brown, just as a way to identify visually your tournaments as, when you print off PDFs and stuff. So we have everything. That's how you set up the brackets. That's all you have to do with the brackets. Everything else is automated. Now you go into the scoring thing, and as you can see for the men's, all of the scores are blank, and all of the future matches are blank until wins and losses are recorded. We've already played a majority of the tournament so far. We're down to the semifinals. So I'm going to just play out the semifinals and the finals and show you after each round what this looks like. So Lindsay Davenport, Arantxa Sanchez Vicario in the first semifinal. And I'm going to just walk through the process here. I won't really say much about the game. This isn't about teaching you how to play the game. We're looking at the backhand and endurance qualities for each of these two folks. And Davenport has backhand and no endurance because she's only endurance on hard court. And Vicario has double endurance and backhand, so it's 3-1. It's a moderate advantage for Sanchez Vicario. The roll is a 6, so she leads 5-4. And that roll means that she wins 6-4. So the favorite wins 6-4. The favorite is always listed on the bottom right here. Favorite is always listed on the bottom. These are rearranged in order, even though, for example, if you see Davenport and Sanchez Vicario, Sanchez Vicario is listed at the top because she's in this bracket, side of the bracket, and Davenport's on this side of the bracket, but Davenport started the tournament 26th, and Sanchez Vicario started 22nd, so she's the higher ranked player, and so she automatically gets the favorite. So the favorite wins in this particular set 7-5. So it's put a 5 for the underdog, 7 for the favorite. Put the cursor back, go to the second match. Second set, backhand and volley. It's 2-2, so even up. And the higher seed leads 5-2, so the favorite leads 5-2. And the favorite wins 6-3. So So we're done. And as you see, once a person gets to 2 victories, they're highlighted there. She moves to the final automatically. If we go to the bracket, you'll notice that she lights up to show that she was the winner of that semifinal, because the way the brackets are constructed, we kind of throw the semifinalists in the middle of brackets, and then she's automatically in the final. And then we just go to the last match, which is Martina Navratilova and Monica Seles. If you go to the schedule, real quickly, you'll notice that both Martina and Monica have won a tournament this year, so they're looking for their second tournament victories of the year. So we roll them up. We're going to look at volley and endurance. It's 4 for Navratilova. It is 1 for Seles, so a large advantage. She leads 5-0. Underdog leading 5-0 and hanging on for a 6-4 win. So the underdog gets 6, the favorite gets 4. Second set. Volley and savvy. 4 for Navratilova, 0 for Seles. And large advantage again, leads 5-3. The underdog leading 5-3 and rolls a 5 and hangs on for a 7-5 win. And so Navratilova moves to the final against Sanchez Vicario. And again, we look at the brackets. You see the final is already settled. And I'm actually working on just little itty bitty things that you have to fix. So Arantxa Sanchez Vicario and Martina Navratilova in the championship final. We have the cards out. If we look at the live rankings, we'll see that Navratilova, Seles's loss there keeps her as the #1 player, but if Martina wins, she will bounce ahead, probably by a point or 2. So here we go. Martina is the favorite in the final as the #4 seed, 24. That's a backhand and footwork. 3 for Sanchez Vicario, 1 for Navratilova, so a moderate advantage for Sanchez Vicario, and she's trailing in the set to the favorite 5-4. Favorite, questionable outcome. Now we're looking at backhand and volley, 2 versus 2, even up. And the high seed wins a tiebreaker 7-6. So 6 for the underdog, 7 for the favorite. Second set, potential championship set, forehand and volley. 1 for Sanchez Vicario, 3 for Navratilova, moderate advantage for Martina, and she leads as a favorite 5-love and goes on to win 6-1. And so Martina Navratilova wins the tournament. And you can see the bracket right there. Take a look at the live ranking. Martina moved up just to second place in that, although Arantxa moved up from 20-some place to 5th with a nice string of wins. We update the schedule. And that's that. So, what do you do when a tournament's done? One of the things that you will do, I'm going to save this right now because I don't do these changes normally until at the end of both sides of the tournament. We're going to do it now so I can discard the changes. So we're going to save this. And then here's what we do at the end of each tournament. When the whole bracket is done, you can do a print. You print the PDF or save as a PDF, whatever, and give the file a name, and then you'll have the bracket. And then you can print the rankings, which would then be updated totally. And of course, here I have to do rankings through the Atlantic Open. And this women's are up to date, and you'll notice the women now have played 186 matches and the men, that's their previous one. So here's what we would do. I'm going to save it again. Okay, all my changes. When you're done, start with the women and copy the first 4 columns. Everything with the player's name. So you Control-C. Don't copy the percentages. Go over to the women's auto. Go all the way over to the left. And just do a right click and paste special values. and you'll notice that now everybody's in the order that they were in. You'll notice that these numbers have changed a little bit. That's because there are scores here, and then all you do is a single apostrophe, 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 and copy those again. Do a copy paste special, so you Control C or copy, whatever, however you do it. I do a Control C and then I right click for, and then pick that little icon that has the 1, 2, 3 at the bottom. Keep pasting those values, those apostrophe values in, and what that does is it blanks everything out, and now you're and hit escape to stop the copy paste process, and so now that's set up, and you'll notice that your bracket for the women is all blank, but it's now set up with the new ratings and rankings. For example, Martina Navratilova now is the number 2 player in the world on tour, so she's the number 2 seed, whereas Monica Seles is over here as a number 1 seed. So that sets up for the next tournament, and that next tournament would be the PTA Open on clay. So again, you'd go into the brackets and you'd say, okay, we want to do PTA Tour, PTA Open, and change the location to Malibu, California, and we change this to clay. And we're good to go. I didn't, I'll change this because I'm not saving it. There you go. So when the men are done, again, you go to the live rankings. You have to go to the live rankings to do this. You copy, and for the men, you copy and paste the live rankings into these cells here. Just there, and do a click and a copy. And then go in and blank out using an apostrophe as opposed to a number. And it gets everything set up and it's all blanked out again. So that's pretty much how you use the tour update. Now, for those of you that don't like the point system, you don't have to use the point system. Just put in 0, and it will not compute any point totals. When you start a brand new tour at the very beginning, everybody, there's two ways there's two thought processes here. Either everybody has 1,000 points, or the 16 and 17 players each have 1,000, and then from ranking 15, you add 1 point. So this is 1,000 and 1,000 says 1,000, 1,001, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to 15, and then 17 is 1,000, and 999, 998. Just so there's some differentiation, or you can group them in 5-point increments. The middle two are 1,000, and it's 5-point increments each way. It doesn't matter. It just means on your first tournament, everybody who wins, the person who wins winds up being the top point getter. And from there, then you get the differentiation in scores starting with the second tournament in the thing. But if you don't want points, just put zeros in. Don't worry about it. Just leave it as 0. And that's it. That's how you use the tournament director, so to speak. And thanks for watching as always. And so until next time, ladies and gentlemen, good night and good gaming.